What's going on, world? Welcome back to another edition of the Black Mental Health Podcast. I'm your host, Reg. Joined today with me is myself. I know I haven't been doing the podcast in a while. It's been a lot going on. I miss you guys. And I just wanted to come back and when I was ready to, fully commit again. I know it's been a lot going on, especially regarding mental health, with everything, and then we're gonna get into a lot of it. But I feel like I owe you guys an explanation of why I haven't been around and being consistent. So that we're gonna get into a lot of that today. So again, I miss you guys. So the last time we talked and the last time I was here, you guys heard my mom, my dad, you heard my sister, you heard my fiance, you heard a lot of the people that was close to me. And so I decided that I wanted to give you guys like a glimpse of what was going on within my world behind the scenes with the accident, and just to give you a little intimacy within the relationships of my family members with me. And so I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I got a lot of good feedback, but of course you got with good feedback, it comes with bad feedback. Something my dad didn't like a lot of the things that was said about his character in a sense too. I won't say in particular because that's family business, but um, he didn't like some of the things that was said. My mom didn't really open up the way that I wanted her to, which I can't control. She chose to say what she wanted to say. I tried to pull as much as I can out of her. I'm happy she shared enough of what she shared, but my mom's a very reserved person anyway, so I got what I could out of her. Maybe sometime in the near future she'll open up more in the way that I would like her to. And I'll dive into maybe some reasons why I didn't press as hard as I would like to in that moment as well. My sister, she's the explosive one. She's the like she said, she's like the black sheep of the family. So you gonna get what you gonna get. She gonna keep it real. She gonna keep it honest. It didn't get edited the way that I wanted to, but I didn't want to go back and change it and have to go and reconstruct it. So you guys got what you got out of it. But honestly, that was a longer conversation and it was way more explicit than what I showed. She went into extremely detail and she did not care. She did not care. She wanted me to put it out. She's like, no, they need to hear it. And so I just left it there and chopped it up the best way I could. Well, the editor, thank God for the editor. She chopped it up the best way she could. And then I had my fiance. Y'all had got to hear her experience with the car accident and the things that was going on behind the scenes. And she's just a rock star. Like she went through and she talked a lot about stuff behind our relationship and what was going on. And I know we working on some things because I want to share more intimate relationship stuff too as well. We did that back in the day a few years ago, and I think it's time to bring it back because this is a very pivotal time with relationships and couples and stuff, especially with this pandemic going on. So I'm happy you guys got to really go and see the behind the scenes of my family. Maybe I'll try to do it like a family reunion and get everybody again. I can't make no promises. I do know I'm gonna have other family members on that in the near future, but it was a great time. I was happy to be able to do it. I think we'll look back on this. Our nieces, our nephews, great grandchildren. They'll look back and be able to like hear the dialogue between family members, and that's always with anything I do. I of course I want it to be successful, but I also want it for preserving a family tree. We don't know what's going to happen, and a lot of the things of our stories are getting passed down through like hearsay and conversations. I wanted it to be recorded and from the horse's mouth. So hopefully, not only will you guys get some benefit, but family members in the future who want to do some research in their family tree, they'll be able to get some dialogue as well. So again, now those episodes were revolved about around my accident. So I'll be a fool not to give you guys an update of what's going on in regards to the car accident and how I'm handling that. I'll say it's going good per se. Like I always look at the bright side. It could have been worse. I could have lost my limbs. I could have just not been able to be in a right mental state. I could have just it's so many things that could have went wrong that it gives me a level of appreciation of what's going right. So it's hard for me to pick out some of the things that are going wrong at this moment or went wrong between that time. But I'll share some of the things that I have been noticing. Like, for example, my leg is not the same. Like, of course, you guys heard it, but now that we're almost going into like a year and a half removed, um, I'm realizing that for one, if I overextend myself of doing too much work, and it's hard for me to turn that motor off. I'm watching the Michael Jordan documentary right now, and and that motor once it's turned on, it's hard for you to go in and out. So I only know one speed of just going, getting multiple things done at one point. But my body is in a different state. I just was telling my friend the other day, like, I don't think I'm not saying I was a big athlete, but we used to play basketball once a week. I think I'm done. Like, I think I can't. My body can't handle it, and me being so tied to so many activities, so many people needing me in different places, I don't want to risk doing something like basketball or something like that and have to be down, you know what I mean? And so I'm learning to accept that reality. But my leg is giving out sometimes. I find myself falling by accident. And I'm like, wow, like I fell down the stairs before. And I'm like, I don't even know what happened. So it's almost like I'm tripping over air. My hand is still messed up. Like I can't grip as much. Or if I grip, like I have a pull up bar. And if I try to grip it too many times, then um, my hand starts to give out after a while. So I'm still adjusting and accepting that reality and getting used to those circumstances. So that's one of the things that I'm learning with my body. So I can't overexert myself. And I found that out, and I'll tell you guys a little bit about that later. But I found that out that I can't overexert myself, and I'm still not comfortable driving at night. Honestly, the scene of my accident is somewhere where a close family member, my fiance's grandmother, which is my children's great grandmother, we go drop them off there a lot, and they spend a lot of time there. They're actually there at this moment. That's why I'm able to record this podcast. And so we drive by there often, and I have to replay the accident sometimes. I see the scene happening, and sometimes I'm saying to myself in my mind, like, man, I really got into an accident. So I'm still dealing with it a lot. I think as time goes, you start to manage it more and more, but for the most part, I'm still just managing it day by day, and just learning how to get through it. One of the things that's helping me is I've recently um, got through therapy, or not got through, I'm still going through therapy. I got a psychiatrist and a therapist. So this therapist helps with the talk therapy. They help with just giving me coping mechanisms that, that self-care that I could do on my own through conversation and things to think about and things like that. So I talk to her every Monday. I also have a psychiatrist who uh, we recently just got connected, maybe about a month out, and she diagnosed me with major depression disorder and an unspecified case of anxiety. So she don't know where I fall on the anxiety realm, but she know I have some type of form of it. And she actually prescribed me some medicine, which for you guys that have been following this podcast for a lot of the story, I never did medicine. This will be in 2020, the first year that I've tried the medicinal side of mental health treatment and trying to see what that does for me mentally. But for the most part, it's been like, what can I do for myself? What can I do what can I Google online to help myself? And it's been, I won't say it's been bad, but I also know when I told the psychiatrist, I'm like, I've been doing this so long on my own and battling this on my own. I would like some help, and yes, talk therapy has helped, but the medicinal, that does help as well. So I wanted to try it. I won't say the name of the medicine because I don't want, I don't know if I'm not comfortable. Maybe I'll share in the future, but I won't say the name of the medicine, but they have prescribed me it. And As of now, I can say it makes me a little sleepy. So sometimes I try to take it at night. Well, I was taking it in the morning, um, and then I switched it to night because it was making me a little sleepy. And once my body got adjusted to it, it don't cause as much sleepiness as it did before. But it helps me focus. I'm usually a high jittery person and off the wall and going this way and that way. And now with the medicine, it actually gives me the ability to focus more and move from task to task. So now I'm fully invested within whatever thing that I'm doing at the moment. So if I'm reading, I'm reading. If I'm writing, I'm writing. If I'm on a phone call, I'm on a phone call. And I'm very focused and in tune with that moment. But it's been helping me with some of the things like, especially with this pandemic, like, all right, everything is going to be all right. Usually I would have been like, blow the world up, the world is over, and would have lost like everything that came that I've worked for and all that. So now with the with the medicine, it is helping with that. I'll be able to have more of a I don't want to say diagnosis, but more of a feel of what it's doing after about 90 days. I'll be able to tell you guys what's going on. So I've been taking it maybe about a month, and I came to that conclusion so far. I've been journaling. I think in about 90 days, I'll be able to see like, all right, where it's at, what we doing, what's going on, and I'll be able to tell you guys more and give you more of the insight on my end. But speaking of Corona, in this crazy time, man, it hit me just like everybody, like a ton of bricks. So, one way it affected me a lot was that um, I had took a gig. I won't say a gig, but I had started working in the schools not as a job almost. So I guess it was a job. So I was a paraprofessional. I was helping to aid the teachers. And you guys know me from everything that I'm doing on social media and just being in the schools, public speaking. I always want to be within the schools as well. I think it's a lot of the times which made me get on the board of directors at one of the schools in Philadelphia. You got people behind the scenes making decisions for people they're not in there day to day. They don't know what's going on. So when the teachers having these discretions or the students having these problems, you got people on behind the scenes that haven't been there on a day to day that really know what's going on to really affect some changes. So of course I can't do nothing right now, and I don't say I can't because can't is a strong word, but I have to. I had to learn early on that there are systems in place to really affect change, and I really do care about the mental health community and really impacting change within the communities. That's why I joined the organizations that I joined. But I learned that there's a system, there's law and order, there's things that's going on that you have to really get the familiar with the systems that are in place. So I've learned to, be quiet, come in, be a team player, just learn what's going on, because I really do want to make change. And the only way you really make change is to know what's going on. You can't make change not knowing what's going on. It's always loud people that's like, oh, we need to do this or you should do this. And it's like, do you know how much that will cause and where is that coming from and what organizations, you know what I mean? So I'm learning to just be quiet and become a team player. But man, so I lost that opportunity to be a paraprofessional working in the schools, which was going to create some consistent income, especially doing this entrepreneur thing. It goes up and down. And if you don't know how to balance everything, you should have some type of normal income to help with it. And so I was doing that. And then they said, I remember being there on the last day, they was like, listen, man, this virus is hitting, we shutting down schools. It was just going crazy in that school. And that was my first week. So you could imagine me thinking like, wow, like this is something big. This is something we ain't never seen before. So I went back to the drawing board, and then slowly but surely, all my speaking gigs started getting canceled. I was scheduled to speak at Temple University. That got canceled. Those of you that were following me on Instagram at Reginald A. Howard, you know, I was trying to get my TED Talk, my very first TED Talk, Philly. I feel like I was on the verge of getting it. There was some emails exchanged back and forth. But I'm never too excited about things that weren't permanent. So that fell through. And then there's one other bigger engagement that I really had locked and loaded, and it still may come through, but I don't know. But that fell through, and when I'll share it in the future when we go back on it, and look back on it. But that fell through. So a lot of things fell through that I was excited about. So it's impacted me and my family hard. Working from home now I'm like trying to find tap into my entrepreneur side and offer other services to help to help cope during this time. You know what I mean? So um, I'm just learning how to adapt working from home and the kids being here. Oh gosh. As a parent, I don't think you're supposed to spend that much time with your kids, especially when you're a full-time parent and you're there day to day. You don't realize how impactful um, them little 8 to 12 hours that your kids are going if they got after school and before school programs. Like those them hours count to your mental state and your health. So finding little coping mechanisms to stay at home has been helping. And so I'm adjusting with that and finding little schedules and things to help with them being more productive at home, because we I think teachers are going to get a lot more credit moving forward because people are now actually home with their kids. What's the old saying, out of sight out of mind? Oh no, they realizing it now. Teachers, they are realizing it now. So uh we got that going on in our house. And then my relationship, I would say, because I know a lot of couples are being impacted by it. They said domestic violence is up right now. Some statistics, they saying child abuse and a lot of those things are up. So prayers out to all of those people that are going through those things. There's a bunch of hotlines out there, and I'll try to include a few of them in the links below. But um, my relationship was prepared for something like this. We, and not in the pandemic in general, but more so spending an enormous amount of time together. We know how to be in each other's presence, and when it's time to, like, all right, babe, we're gonna watch a movie. We watch a movie or we watch a show together. We're watching Divorce Court right now. I don't know why, but it's been very interesting for us to see. But we've been watching that, binge watching that. But we also know how to, go in our corner. I'll go start working on some stuff. She may go do some things in the corner with herself with work, or because she is working from home too, or just, in general, we know how to navigate being in each other's presence for a lot of time. So we were prepared for that. And honestly, one of the things that it has, how the COVID-19 has been affecting me as well, is I honestly believe, and there's no way for me to be able to, because hindsight is 2020, but there's no way for me to be able to tell. But I think I actually had the virus. Because again, the reason why it's called COVID-19 is because it was out in 2019. So I think it said last December or last around the winter season last year, and so it's been around. And March is when it really started to hit, and they still don't have a vaccine at this moment, at this taping and recording. But I remember in February I got real sick where my chest was in pain, like I couldn't breathe, like I was sleeping, I had the chills, like it was a lot. And it was around Valentine's Day, that's why I can remember it. And I was just so sick, and it kept me out for like 2 weeks. And I just thought it was a cold, like, but that cold like literally hit me hard, like it hit me hard. And so fast forward to now, and I'm able to look back on some of the symptoms. I'm able to look back on some of the things they say can, or that is affecting people, or somehow people are. I believe I've had it, but there's no way to really truly know. And by the time we hear stuff from the government, it's probably already happened, and they're just trying to fix it now. You know what I mean? Coming up with vaccines and things like that. So there's no way to tell. So I can't say yes or no, but in my heart of heart, I believe, and I think I created a false sense of security inside myself, because I'm thinking I'm having it and that you can't have it again. But I do have my sanitizer right here. If you're on YouTube, like, I do have my sanitizer, and I got my mask, so you guys can see, like, I have my stuff available. We are protecting the children. We are protecting each other. And so you guys stay safe and sanitized out there, because this thing is a real thing. It's a real pandemic. So, you know, I don't know. That's all I got to add to it. If you want to know some of the things that I'm doing to, like, keep sane, I'll actually give you guys some of the things. And if you're on YouTube, you'll be able to see it better. Then I'm trying to pull it up. I'm starting to use Zoom more actively now since well, everybody is now, honestly. But I'll share my screen so you guys can see some of these strategies that I've shared at a conference that I was at. So if you're on YouTube, you can see it. If you guys are listening, which a lot of people are, check it out. And you can get some of the tips. I'll read them out. And so you guys can see. But this is a PowerPoint I did for a speaking engagement, an online speaking engagement. I was telling them what was going on and what was happening. And it was managing stress during this time. So one of the quotes I had was, "Don't stress, strategize." And of course we can't all, like, you know, minimize stress but so much, because we got common stress. But we all could be thinking of strategies and different ways to, you know, help out each other and help out ourselves. I know one of the things I told people was control the controllables. There's only a few things that we are in control of, and that we can really take heed to. You know what I mean? And so I wanted to give that out to people. What are the positive? What are the things you can do? What are the things that can outcome? One of the things I was able to create during this time was entrepreneurs roundtable called Emotions Aside, where um, entrepreneurs are reacting with logic and trying to do different things in the moment that they can get successful from. You know what I mean? And of course, not everybody's going to do that. The last thing that people should be remembering too is to survive, or the first thing is to survive. Like, just get through it. Just get to the next day, get to the next week, get to the next month, get to the next year. So whatever you got to do to survive and keep your mental state intact, please do so. And then I've been comparing comparing now to the worst. And again, you guys know I just came through my accident. So honestly, right now in this moment is not one of the worst things that has happened to me. Yes, people are catching a virus and are dying, but I'm not one of those people, fortunately, and I'm protecting myself in the best way I can, and just doing that things that keep myself safe, because you want to do those things as much as possible. But I'm learning to, all right, what's the worst thing that can happen, and you move forward from there. And then one of the things I learned was go to zero. Go to zero. What if everything did happen? What would you do? And then you can start making certain decisions during that time, or during this time, to help with that. You know what I mean? And so go to zero. If it did happen, what would you do? Um, and that was just some of the tips that I've learned. And of course, some of these things like my power hour, which is 20 minutes of reading, 20 minutes of journaling, 20 minutes of meditation. The skeleton of a good day is 3 to 4 things for me to feel like I had a good day. And then one of the things I've been saying a lot to people that need that help is, I look at this like a winter break extension. In the winter, we couldn't go out because it was too cold, or we didn't have things to do because everybody was in the house. And so what do we do in the winter? We watch some movies to get some sense of comfort. We're around family, we're around friends. Like, there are things, and I won't know because everybody's household is different during the winter time, but there are things that we do to keep us sane during the winter while we can't go outside. So I look at this like a winter break extension and just say, all right, what can I do to help with myself now? And then survive. Again, that's all we should be worried about, is surviving in this moment. So that's what I wanted to share on that end, as far as just some of the tips, because I feel like I would be irresponsible not to give you guys some of the tips that I'm doing in this moment. So now that we got the what's going on, and you guys are kind of up to current, what's going or what has happened since we last spoke. These are some of the recent things. I recently moved within April. Honestly, this is recorded in April. It'll probably come out by the time May, but top of May. But I moved. I was living with my mom since my accident. I wasn't able to take care of myself as far as not even financially, because I could have went out there and made money, but I wasn't physically able to take care of myself. So fortunately, me and my family moved with my mother, and we were living with her for an extended period of time. and now we finally moved into our own place. So got my little office set up. I wish I could show you guys, but it ain't all the way set up yet. So I moved. It was getting a little hectic. And I told you guys earlier that I interviewed my mom for the podcast, and I really couldn't interview her the way that I wanted to because I was under her roof almost to the sort. So that could have traveled away from the podcast interview, away from, and it could have went to a whole different thing. And it's a lot of times I don't interview certain people too, because and that's close around me, is because I know they have situations to go home and deal with, and I don't want to cause any friction within the family or anything like that. I do just want to offer therapeutic stories to help individuals. So that was one of the reasons why I couldn't pull as much out of my mom as I would like, because I was staying with her. But we recently moved. It was, they say two women, it's hard for two women to live. So it wasn't like my fiance and my mom were at odds. They can call one another. They have conversations. They, have stuff, but it just, it was just too much trying to balance that. It was a weight off of my shoulders with us moving. I was able to create my workstation, like I said, and get a peace of mind when it comes to business and things like that, and handling business and having conversations. So I recently moved, and then to give you guys an entrepreneur update, my book, Suffering into Success, people have been going off the roof with it right now because now is needed more than ever. A paradigm shift for struggle to achieve happiness. What I think a lot of us are experiencing struggle for the first time, where jobs are being lost. People are getting fired and filing for unemployment. They don't know if their bills behind. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of things going on where now it's like, all right, let's shift the focus and see what we can do now in this moment to protect our mental health, protect our mental state, and what can we do in this moment to proceed into a greater place after the place we're in at this moment. So the book has been going off the roof. I'm thankful, so thankful. I'm never ungrateful to the people that have supported already. If you have not gotten it yet, please support. I know it'll be a good gem. And if you have supported already, please leave a review on Amazon. It helps a lot. Amazon takes all of that into consideration. All the people that need, Amazon's a big name company, so people trust it more. So which I understand. So please, if you already got the book already, leave a review. It helps a lot, and it helps me get the message and the movement into as many hands as possible, because I know this message is going to resonate now, because when everything's good, it's hard for people to listen and take it into consideration. But when everything's bad, now your words kind of resonate more, and it's forced a lot of people to get creative, to create income. It's forced me to get creative, honestly. So please go leave a review and get a copy if you haven't done so. I've been focusing a lot on my mental clarity coaching, because for one, I'm not speaking and being out speaking as much as possible. Let me share the screen again, because I want to make sure I don't miss this with mental clarity coaching. So again, if you're on YouTube, you'll be able to see this more. But mental clarity coaching is my coaching arm of the work that I'm doing. And by definition, our guys, read it for you guys, is a life strategizing service that prioritizes personal, professional, and product development. Not only is the concentration on single mothers, underdeveloped men, misguided youth, or lost entrepreneurs, but the person behind these titles. The main objective is to help evolve the individual so that they can flourish in their gifts and capitalize on every opportunity that's available to them. And I think this will resonate a lot during this time, because when opportunities are limited and it's so much uncertainty in the world, I think it's time to we all, because I know I had to do it, we all had to reevaluate ourselves and where we were at, because we don't know what's going to happen as the cause of what's going on. And I know that can be a lot of stress involved in that. One of the quotes was, don't stress, strategize. And I just wanted to help people strategize of what's going on. So DM me, message me if you have any questions. And I just want to help people navigate through this new virtual world. using things like Zoom. My podcast's been out since 2018. And so I've been using things like Zoom, using the Adobe, Microsoft, Google. Like I've been using a lot of these WordPress, all these virtual things. And I just want to help as many people as possible who don't know how to use these things get to that point. So DM me, message me if you have any questions, and we can move forward from there. Now going into my speaking. Speaking of speaking, I haven't been speaking. I was on my speaking tour. For most of you that do know, that I was on my We All Help Heal tour. And that's what this shirt says, We All Help Heal. And I'll get into that a little bit later. But I was going around speaking at different venues, trying to again bring a awareness towards mental health, and everything just stopped. So fortunately, I just showed you guys one of the presentations that I've done recently. Things started to shift towards virtual, and because I was prepared, I was able to still provide value and provide solutions virtually. So the tour has kind of transitioned into virtually, which is not really a tour now because all the dates are not guaranteed and so much uncertainty in the world. But I've been spending a lot of time just reading books, owning my craft, and just trying to make the transition and make the adaptation, because we don't know what's going on, and that can cause so much stress. So I just want to be prepared in as many realms as possible, so that way I can keep my mental state intact and make sure that I'm not going, for a back of a letter term, crazy. So the Rehaul Help Tour is canceled, but it's still looking for different venues. So you guys hit me up if you know of any places that need speakers or that's looking for somebody to provide value virtually, especially in the realm of mental health. And because I love providing that information, I know, like, especially I always say, and especially at times of uncertainty and when the world is in a bad state and when it's a lot going on, this is when the motivational speakers, the people that have a gift or a niche or whatever, this is when you're supposed to speak and provide the value. The skillful sellers are rewarded when times are, or when the seas are as most uneven as possible. So when them storms is coming, them tornadoes, that's when you want them people that know how to navigate the seas. So I use that the equivalent to now with motivational speakers. Like, this is your time. This is your time to really provide value to the people, because the world is hurting and needs some healing at this moment. And whatever value you bring to the marketplace or you bring to the world, it's really time to bring it as much as possible. And so the tour got canceled, but the merch is in stock. You know what I mean? And so We All Help Heal. Again, I gotta go back to the sharing of the screen. Hold on. Let me get it for you. And let's see. Do I even have it up? I don't even think I have it up. I may not have it up. Oh, you know what it is. Let's go. But We All Help Heal was a concept that it came from so many things going on within the mental health community. I was a new person within the community, and it was so many things that I didn't know. So I had to learn stuff new. But We All Help Heal was a concept that was developed from discrepancies within the mental health community. Mental health professionals feel like advocates don't have the credentials to speak about mental health. Advocates feel like the mental health professionals are too formal to treat every mental health crisis. At the end of the day, the goal is to help individuals get a place of let me reread that. At the end of the day, the goal is to help individuals to get a place of mental stability, and whatever gets them to that place of peace is irrelevant as long as the person is happy on the inside. And so I created that concept because I wanted so many people to know that they all are a contribution to healing. Of course, we got God, the ultimate healer, at the top, but I also had social workers at the bottom, family, nutritionists, pastors, friends. Like, we all help heal. We all are providing some type of healing to the world, especially within the mental health community. So I started that. I took that concept on tour, but I stopped doing the merchandise version of it because I don't even know. I think I focused so much on what I was doing as far as speaking that I just left the We All Help Tour concept alone as far as merchandise. But I have brought it back because I think, again, everything that I've done is always been trying to heal the community and heal the world and offer my portion and part. So now is the time that we all need to heal in any way that we can. So I appreciate anybody that wants to support. I have the t-shirts. Um, a portion of the proceeds is going to get donated. I actually want to do something with essential employees at this moment because they are going in there and they're fighting the virus in its face right now. And so I want to do something with the proceeds to help essential workers. I'm still trying to figure out what that looks like, but I'll figure it out. And some of the other updates that you guys probably care about, I'm still on the board of directors of the school, the elementary school. So we've been doing those things virtually. I'm still a part of NAMI. Working with them, we're trying to do things virtually. I'm still a part of Black Men Hill. We're gonna give you guys an update on the platform soon. There's some major things coming from Black Men Hill, and I want you guys to be involved as much as possible. I actually just got accepted to a program from Drexel University to become a certified peer specialist. And you know that's big in within the mental health community because now you have some more credentials to, you know, again, y'all gonna keep hearing me saying this, but provide that healing to the community. I feel like there's so many people that talk about the problems, but I do actually want to provide the solutions. And anything you guys see me a part of, it'll always be something to provide a solution. So being a part of this Drexel program is gonna work wonders for me. So I'm a part of this Drexel program to become a certified peer specialist. We don't know what that's going to look like as far as doing it virtually with the mental health community. But I don't know. We're taking it day by day, just like I'm guessing you guys are. And as far as the podcast, I missed you guys. I said it at the beginning of the episode. I miss you guys. With me moving, with the virus, with the just all the new ventures that was coming up, I wanted to make sure that I was able to dedicate the right amount of time. But now that things are settling out, the podcast will always be my first love. I love talking and having those conversations. I love providing therapeutic stories. I love doing all of that. So I wanted to make sure the podcast got its proper respect. You see why that's a tongue twister. I wanted to make sure the podcast got its proper respect and take the time out. So now you guys are going to get it more consistently. I have some amazing, surprising guests. I'm still deciding. I did record a few episodes in between the time of my my family episodes and now, which was around Christmas. So I may release them, I may not. I'm still trying to figure out and decide it. So you guys may see some interviews that may seem out of the time frame, but if it is, then I probably won't release it. But it'll be some more consistency now because I'm settled in, and then you'll get more info and updates of what's going on with me and what's happening. And I hope that the people now that's sharing therapeutic stories will also be able to share what they're going through now currently, so that way they can provide some value as well. Because I'm always thinking, how can I help the individual sitting on the other side of this, listening to this podcast or watching this video? And so I'm hoping that with the people and the guests that, or I'm not even hoping, I'm ensuring that the guests that's coming on future-wise will be very informative, very productive in their craft. Very, you guys will get a lot of value, is what I'm saying. And so that's the last update that I have. You guys are all caught up on what's going on with me, what's going on with things around me, what's going on with my family. Y'all know everything. So I think that's it. I think that's it. And thank you guys for listening. Subscribe to the podcast. Leave a review on Apple. That helps out a lot. I want to get this message as far as possible to as many people as possible and give that healing as much as possible. So subscribe, share with a friend, tag somebody, do all that good stuff that you guys are already doing. I appreciate everybody that always supported from the beginning, that continue to support. It never goes unwarranted. The books on Amazon, if you want to support. The merchandise is here. Like I got them already here. And And remember that this platform has never been about a replacement to therapy. It's an alternative, and it's a place where people share therapeutic story. We'll be back next week with some new guests, new information, and new healing. I'll talk to y'all soon.